For many years, the Chicago Bulls were under turmoil from the Garpax front office. And now, it seems like finally everything's turning the corner. Could this be the year that the Chicago Bulls finally make it back into the playoffs? Will this be the year that all these young players and young talent that they have come together? Will this be the year that they are actually a playoff team for the first time in a while? So let's talk about it. One of the players they got was undrafted rookie free agent Devon Dotson, and oh my god, as a KU student currently gone to be able to see Devon Dotson play, I think Devon Dotson's first thing he's going to be able to do is be an offensive initiator. He's going to be a guy who can run the offense, pop some trays, not going to be a high three-point shooter, but I could see him going up to 37% on one day. He can be a really good backup point guard and a spot starter for any NBA team. Specifically, the Chicago Bulls, I think, will work really well. And if he does turn out good, because I know Kobe White is seen more as a combo guard now, Devon Dotson and Kobe White could really learn how to play well together, and I really like the idea of them playing off of each other. And Devon Dotson's just so fast, so athletic, and not super athletic, but he knows how to use his skills to his advantage. He's one of those players who knows who he is and knows how to use his abilities to the best of him. Patrick Williams being drafted by the Chicago Bulls probably surprised a lot of people, but it didn't surprise me because I know Patrick Williams is probably going to be the best defender in this class. People are going to tell me Isaac Okoro is, but Patrick Williams has all the skill sets needed to be an amazing defender. He's like 6'9", he has about a 6'10" wingspan, and he's a freak athlete. He can throw it down. Day one, he's going to be able to give you defensive potential. If he puts his mind to it and he doesn't fall into defensive lapses or defensive mistakes, he's going to be a guy who always be able to defend the other team's best player, no matter their position, except if he's a giant center. But he's a guy who's athletic enough to keep up with anybody. I see him, he could develop into a player that is similar to a Robert Covington, Jeremy Grant type player. A player who would, God, my neck is like killing me. Ooh. But yeah, a player who would be able to defend and maybe average like 15 points on the other side of the court. A guy who can pop some trays, throw down some aggressive dunks, and on the other side be the most ferocious defender on your team. Though I don't know why my neck is killing me right now. I just had to put that out. Like, my neck was just killing me while I was talking. I know I'm going to butcher this name. Marco Semenko. Tell me down below if I said that correct. If you Google him, you might find this other guy who plays, I guess, in the Russian league, and he went undrafted in 08. But Marco Semenko is a guy who's a Montenegro player who, very interesting enough, could be a player similar. His floor will be a player close to like Luka Semenko on the Spurs, but he could be a poor man's Lauri Markkanen. He's a power forward. He could be kind of like Nikola Mirkovic, just stretch four for you, like for the Bulls. I don't see him being a really good scorer, not at all. That's a lie. I do see him becoming a good stretch four. I don't see him becoming a good defender. I don't know why I said offense. But yeah, I don't see him being a good defender just because he isn't the most athletic guy. But I could see him developing into a really good spot-up stretch four. I don't think anybody hates that. But what they're saying now is they're going to stash him for a year or two. So we won't see him play for the Chicago Bulls at least till next season, or maybe in 2 years, or maybe never. He might just decide, I'd rather play in the EuroLeague and not need to learn English. He probably knows English, but you know what I mean? Like, a lot of these foreign players get a better deal just staying in Europe and playing for the rest of their lives and never going to the NBA. Which is like, if that's what you want, that's cool. Like, you're still probably making at least 6 figures. Even some guys are making 7 figures, so that's cool. Zach Norville Jr., pretty much going to call him a rookie. Yeah, he was undrafted last year in 2019, and he played for the Lakers and Golden State. He really just played for Golden State. But, you know, he's on the team now. He's a guy who could be, and he's a hometown guy too. He's a guard. He has the ability to be very explosive. He could develop into a really good three-point shooter and maybe a good defender. Just your simple 3-and-D. That's about it. He's really not going to be anybody special. I don't see him getting a lot of minutes on this team. Maybe unless he impresses during training camp, but you never know. Noah Vonleh. I probably butchered that. Noah Vonleh. I feel like that's something if I keep pronouncing it. Maybe I'll get it right. But either way, he's back. He played for them in 2018. You know what he is. He's a guy who'll occasionally hit a three-pointer for you. He's a kind of a stretch big, but he's mainly just a rebounding guy who can sometimes, if he puts his mind to it, he'll play some good defense. Yeah, he was a top 10. He's a lottery pick. years ago, and he's a bust. He's just a role player now. He's a guy who's going to give you, 5 rebounds and maybe like 6 points off the bench and hit a couple threes, give you some energy, give the guy some rest. Nothing special. He's just not a special player anymore. He never became the player that we expected him to. Garrett Temple is one of my favorite players in the NBA. He is the definition of a 3-and-D guard. These Chicago Bulls are going to love him. Yeah, he shot last year from 37% and the year before 39%. He's a guy who's going to give you about 10 points a game while averaging about 3.5, 2.5 rebounds and assists. I don't know why I was trying to say steals, but he'll give you about 1.5 steals a game and maybe a block here and there. I love Garrett Temple. I think Garrett Temple is one of the best defenders in the league. Always criminally underrated. That's why he's been making steady money, because he can hit the spot-up shot and he can defend with the best of him. Okay? Nobody else on this team is probably going to be able to defend as well as him, except Patrick Williams. But Pat Williams is going to be guarding forwards, and somebody's got. Oh God, I just choked. Somebody's got to guard the guards. So that's got to be Garrett Temple. And Garrett Temple, yeah, I know he's 34, but man, oh man, is he athletic. Look, this guy is a phenomenal player, and he deserves to have a starting role. I don't know if you just heard my dog. Alright, one of the interesting things about this team is, let me just move this microphone over. Okay, let's just talk about the core roster. Zach Lavine, Lauri Markkanen, Wendell Carter Jr., and Kobe White. Like, Zach Lavine is amazing. Zach Lavine, though, is a shooting guard in my opinion. Even though they play at point guard, I think Zach Lavine needs to continue being that 25-point scorer they have. Hopefully he can play the full 82 games. Lauri Markkanen, we need Lauri Markkanen to stop being a soft little bitch. And I know Jim Boylan kind of ruined his development, and I get that. But Lauri Markkanen needs to show and play like the 7-footer he is. Sometimes he plays like he doesn't know he's 7 foot and like 230 or 240, how much he weighs. But he needs to know that he can throw his body around. Study Kristaps Porzingis' game. Look at other players and try to emulate them. I know this is easy for me to say because I'm not an NBA player, but that's what we need Lauri to do. Kobe White, let's get you to start popping more threes, become a better defender. Yeah, I know you got 1.1 steals per game, but let's start having you be more of a combo guard, shooting guard type, CJ McCollum role. I would love to see that. Otto Porter Jr., I would love to see him just become one of the best 3-and-D small forwards in the league. I know that's kind of a stretch on my part, but hey, I would love to see that. Wendell Carter Jr., I think he can become one of the best defensive bigs in the league, and he has the weight to throw around. Huge fan of Chandler Hutchinson off the bench. I think he can become one of the better 3 shooters. And all in all, I think a guy that the team should watch out for is Adam Mokoka. I've been a huge fan. He's a French player, and he signed with, or he got drafted by the Bulls last year. I think he was undrafted. He signed with them. I really think he could earn some minutes this year. If there's anybody on this roster who could break out, I think it's Adam Mokoka. He's 6'5", a freak athlete, in my opinion, who could become one of the best 3D players in the league. So let me know down below what you guys think about the Chicago Bulls. I think they're going to be an 8th or 7th seed this year. I think they can be really good. It just comes down to how well they play defense, because I know they can put up points in the bunches. So let me know down below what you think. While you're there, like and subscribe. As always, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, because I know I will. Till next time, guys. Puppies out.